Alright guys, welcome back. 10.2. What other fun facts do I have for you about Halloween? Okay, in Illinois, was it? Yeah. In Illinois, you can be fined $1,000 for trick-or-treating if you are over the age of 13. I guess they really take that, it's for the youth thing, seriously. In Alabama, it is illegal to go trick-or-treating dressed up as a priest. And in California, you can be fined $1,000 for using silly string on Halloween. Interesting. All right, chapter 10 continued. How should we manage and sustain forests? All right, so managing forests sustainably. Identify and protect forested areas, of course, right? Especially the areas that are, what do I want to say? Not because the one's not more important than the other, but the ones that are really sensitive, like rainforests. We should really do what we can. Work with those governments of those countries to sustain those rainforests. Oh, look at that. Okay. Boom. Reduce clear cutting. Why do we even clear cut anymore? It's ridiculous. I don't know. No logging of old growth forests. It's true, we should leave those old growth forests because they've got very interconnected ecosystems. And we don't want to jump in there and start messing with that, right? Because these are pristine areas where evolution and our ecosystem still takes place. We should leave them be and move on. Reduce road building in forests, again, because that dissects and fragments the habitats. Plant tree plantations on deforested or degraded land. Go into areas that used to be forested that maybe are just sitting there. Turn those into tree plantations. Number one, we can turn a profit off of it. And number two, although it's not as ecologically diverse as a real forest, a tree plantation will still bring in some organisms, right? And if it's always forested and you're cutting one area but maybe not a lot, or maybe not the other, then you're still allowing some type of ecosystem to be sustained. And at least we're growing trees and sequestering CO2 out of the atmosphere. Certified timber is grown by sustainable methods. Home Depot is doing really good with that. Right now, 85% of the wood products they contain are sustainably certified, so that's nice. And we need to include ecological services in estimating the economic value of forests, because we rely on them. They provide ecosystem services for us. This goes back to what I discussed last lecture a little bit, where Smokey the Bear, especially after World War II, and during World War II, where we needed wood for the war effort, we really tried to stop every single forest fire. And all that did was lead to lots of buildup of timber in the forests, which meant huge, huge fires. So now we rely on prescribed burns. We do that a lot out in our natural areas around here, Geneva and Chiliota, where they go out and they burn the forest every 2 to 3 years to ensure that we don't get that buildup. All right, and it puts nutrients into the soil, removes diseases and pests, and helps to stabilize and maintain the habitat. Okay, so one of the things we use trees for is for paper making. It makes sense to use them for 2x4s, sure, and building products, absolutely. But to make paper, why? It takes 15 years to grow a tree. On the same acre of land, you could grow something else. Tree-free paper produced from fast-growing canaf, that's this stuff, or hemp. Per acre, you get more output from an acre of hemp or canaf than you do from an acre of trees. And you get to grow it every single year instead of once every 15. So you could literally just outproduce trees and the use of paper by growing these other products. But we don't, and a lot of that has to do with the logging industry lobbying the federal government to make legislation that keeps these guys out of the market, which is a total shame. And yes, hemp, this is marijuana. It's a marijuana product, right? But says this hemp product is for industrial fiber, THC content nil, meaning it's a strain that does not have THC in it. So it's purely for just the fibers and perhaps maybe the oils for fuel production, but no THC. Excess packaging, where do we waste all this paper? Junk mail. No paper recycling. At least we have paper recycling here on campus. And if you could use this stuff and grow this stuff, it's very hardy. You would need less land to produce 15 times the amount of paper you could through trees. You would need less pesticides and herbicides. very hardy, efficient crops. The fuel wood crisis. This deals with the poor in third world countries. So wood and charcoal are used for heating and cooking by 2 billion people in the world still, out of the 7 billion. That's their primary source of heating and cooking fuel. 50% of the wood harvested worldwide is used in developing countries as fuel wood. Haiti, once completely covered in forests, yet now only 2% of those forests remain. So and here's what ends up happening. You cut down the forests, there's nothing holding the soil down on the ground, right? So wind and rain means you lose the topsoil. No trees to process the water, so you have flooding. You have no trees, there's no biodiversity. So now you've lost a host of resources. So that leads to poverty. Too many people living very poorly in close quarters leads to disease and an increase in crime, right? And this is person-on-person crime, so it's interest-specific competition. So because of this, and largely due to their deforestation, they are now considered a failing state by the UN. They need lots and lots of help from international countries. So how do we fix this? We're trying to go in and create tree plantations to make and plant specific fast-growing softwood trees and shrubs in there that can be harvested quite quickly. Right? It only takes a few years to be harvestable instead of 15, 20 years. Provide more efficient wood stoves, supply solar ovens. In the areas where they do have agriculture, we can burn the agricultural wastes. Where we have grazing, we could use cow patties. Cow patties and buffalo patties have been used for generation out in the Great Plains of the U.S. as a type of wood to burn for heat and for fuel, right? Kind of neat. So how can we stop deforestation? Debt for nature swaps, right? Go to these developing countries and give them money, right? We will help you fund everything you need to carry out, what you need for your citizens of this country by promising you will stop deforesting your forests, your tropical rainforests, right? Stop cutting everything down. Recycle paper and wood products, buy products with little packaging, and buy wood that is certified sustainably grown. And here's that Home Depot call out right there. So, and then considering excess packaging, I just included this photo of bananas that are wrapped in plastic and styrofoam. This is one banana on a styrofoam tray wrapped in plastic, which baffles me because the beautiful thing about a banana is that nature has already wrapped it for you. I don't understand this. What the hell are we doing? Crazy, crazy. Wrapping a banana. Same thing as an orange. I've seen stores that wrap oranges in plastic on styrofoam trays. What are we doing? And that's the end of that one. Thank you for coming.